Welcome in everyone. We are going to go through our spinal mobilization now. And as humans at the modern era, we sit so much and we're very static. We're either sitting or standing, and we're actually designed to move, and our spine is meant to bend and flex and move, and we want to mobilize, not only our bigger joints, but we want to mobilize these spinal segments as well. So when you're ready, we are going to go into our all fours position, and I'm going to talk you through how to position and set that up, because it's going to be really important to look after our joints, to set up really well to get this base of support when we go through these movements. So when you're ready, we're going to come into a 4-point position. So 4 points being each hand and each knee. And you're going to spread your fingers really wide to again maximize that base of support, and try and have your index finger facing forward. You want your wrists under your shoulders and knees under the hips, and kind of like in, sort of like a neutral spine position. And you want to make sure that you're not hanging down, but you're having some pressure through the hands, pushing up through the shoulders, so that you've got this nice tabletop position. So from here, the first movement is slow. You don't have to go very far, because again, we're not used to these movements, so we need to meet our body where it's at. So you want to just dip your belly down to the floor, and then look up just slightly, pull your shoulder blades just slightly down your back, and then arching up opposite way, letting the head hang heavy, making a dome with your back. And as you articulate these movements, you can get, more range when your body's ready. Because if you're not used to these movements, sometimes it can catch a little bit, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you don't do it. It just means we've just got to meet our body where it's at. So it might even just be tilting the pelvis at the start. So practicing dropping down and then pulling up. And then we're going to combine these movements with the breath, as always. So if you want to come back to this neutral position, we're going to take a breath in, let the belly come down, pull the shoulder blades down the back. And sometimes it feels like they're down your back, but they're not. So you can shrug them up to your ears just to get that contrast, and then pull them back down. And then as you breathe out, we're going to push away from the floor, really tuck the tailbone back, push and arch, and let the head hang heavy like a bowling ball. And we're just going to articulate these movements. So breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And if it feels too hard on your wrists, we're going to give them a rest back in child's pose, but just try and get some more pressure through the knuckles, and almost like this spidey grip into the floor. But after a few rounds of just moving and breathing, you can then, our rest position is child's pose. So heels together, knees wide, just sitting back and just having a little rest in between. Just 3 breaths here. Expanding through that back rib cage. And then coming back up onto all fours again, readjusting, and then a few more. Breathing in, pushing away. And again, you can have a bit of a play here. Just, do what feels good. You don't have to make it an inline. You can do some circles. Just tune into your body intuitively what it needs. And then on the next out breath, we'll come back down into child's pose. Just have a few rests here. And then readjusting into our 4-point position. And we're going to deliberately sort of sideways bend the spine now. So all you're going to do in this position is try and stay as neutral as you can, and stick your butt out try and look and see the edges. And again, just go as far as it feels good, and you should feel a stretch on the opposite side. Breathing in back to the middle, and then going the other way. Breathing in, and then breathing out. And again, you can take some of these intuitive movements and adding the sideways and, you know, the up and down here by sort of circling through these movements. And just notice what feels good. And so then resting in child's pose, we're going to take the opportunity to just work with the side body. And this time you can walk your hands just over to one side and get that nice side stretch through the right side here. And then back to the middle. And then to the opposite side. And back to the middle. Coming back up. And that is our spinal mobilization. So we flexed and extended the spine. We moved laterally, you know, allowed that rest in between. And you'll notice in that rest in between, we're also mobilizing the hips. We're doing lots of really good things just with 2 movements. And just, again, intuitively tune into your body and what feels good. Work with the breath, go slow at the start, and then move into those bigger ranges when you're comfortable.